Hi, how are you going? My name is Chris Schmidt. I am researching the Kapernick family history. Just to dispense with the basics, three Kapernick brothers came to Australia between 1880 and 1888. One of these was my great-grandfather's. I apologise for the amateur nature of this video and its boring production, but I simply cannot get a video professionally done at this point in time. The purpose I am posting a project here is that I am writing a family history book, and I feel to charge enough for each book to cover printing, production and research expenses would make it too expensive for many family members. I also cannot afford to take all the financial slack myself. People ask me why write a family history? My answer is because I think it is important and because I love it. For all of us, it is a combination of genetics and environment that determines who we are. Of course, genetics has a lot to do with family history because it is about what we inherited. And yes, it is interesting to see what genetic traits are handed down and come through in different generations. However, our environment is also in a big way built by our family history, because we learn parenting from our parents, and the sort of environment and upbringing our parents choose to give us is often to a large extent shaped by what they learned. True, sometimes we might react and say, I'm going to be different and make different choices than my parents, but we are reacting to our environment and therefore learning from it in either a negative or positive way. I believe unless we understand our background and where we come from, we cannot become the person we truly want to be. That is why I think it is important. Also, there is nothing wrong with celebrating the positives of the past and examining the negatives to learn. I have always been interested in history, and it was my favourite subject at school, and I have always been fascinated by family history. I used to sit on my grandfather's knee and listen to the stories about other relatives of both a reputable and unreputable nature. Possibilities of links with famous people in the past used to fascinate me, as did stories of people that were quite not so reputable. In my adult life, it has evolved into quite a consuming passion, which sometimes some people might argue takes up more time than it should. As well as the fact that I think it is important, I love playing the detective and the analytical thinking required to piece the story together. A family history is not meant to become some dry presentation of facts and dates, but is meant to examine why they did what they did and how that shapes the attitudes of the past and present. The facts and dates are the skeleton upon which you hang the flesh, and the flesh is the analysis and the stories and reminiscences, which are often humorous. If we think this can often also give us an insight into who the people really are. It is both amusing and interesting, for example, to know that one of my great-great-grandfathers hid in a haystack to avoid capture by the military police in Prussia. He was Polish, and as his country at that time was partitioned up between Russia and Prussia, he did not want to fight the wars of an occupying power. Maybe not entirely commendable to hide in a haystack, but it still does give me an indication of his personalities and some of the values that were important to him. Well, now we come to the crunch. I need funds. These funds are required for printing and production of the book. They are also required to pay for research expenses such as travel, interviewing relatives, ordering certificates, and so on. It is also required for accommodation while away from home to be where I need to be to complete the research. The family history will come out in 3 parts. At this stage, I need to raise $30,000, $30,000 that is, for research expenses and to cover production of the first stage. I really appreciate everyone's help. I guess this is not the sort of project where I can give a lot of rewards to givers apart from free books, but if you are not related to the family, perhaps that is a reward you are not interested in. I still, however, appreciate you contributing very much. If anyone wants more information about what I am doing or thinks they could be related, please feel free to get in touch. My Facebook profile is www.facebook.com/chris.schmidt66. That's chris.schmidt66, and my Twitter username is cpschmidt29, and that's SCHMIDT. You can also have a look at our Facebook book page. The book is entitled Footprints from the Past. Just search it on Facebook, you'll find it. But it is www.facebook.com/Kapernick.descendants.family.history. Please go and like the page. By the way, this project will close on the 13th of March, and the book will be released on the 15th of October 2013. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to this video.